Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're looking at the top 5 favorite decks of May 2023. Will your favorite deck make the list? Stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Commonly Good MTG. I'm your host, Master of Disaster, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and it's Top 5 Decks Day. Woo-woo, Top 5 Decks Day, Top 5 Decks Day. May 2023. So what we're doing today is we are going to be looking back at all of the decks played during last month, and I'm going to be listing out my favorite decks. Now, the only problem I can foresee on this, I haven't really looked ahead to see if that's a problem or not, is that during the end of last month, we got 3 banned cards. What was it? The Bankbuster, Invoke Despair, and Fable of Fable, right? Kiki-Jiki. And that, are any of my decks going to have those cards in it? I don't know. Could be. I doubt it. I kind of doubt it. But we'll find out. And I'll try to point those out if that ends up happening there. So, yeah, you might have to make a couple of tweaks to those cards, if that's the case, but I'm betting these decks are going to hold up fine, just fine without them. I'll tell you, though, I'm fairly certain is that the one card I really picked up a lot of love for last month was Urbrask's Forge. Urbrask's Forge. God, I loved it last month. There were so many great decks, and I'm sure we're going to see a couple in this list. So it's almost like I'm going to say that May 2023 was Urbrask Forge month. And I'm hoping we see more of it in the future. One thing I can tell you, Boros Nuke. I tried to put together a new version of Boros Nuke. It sucked. So no Boros Nuke this month again. I mean, from December, January, February, and March, Boros Nuke just reigned supreme. I just haven't been able to put it together much. We'll see. I don't want it to be too much like the old decks. It needs to have something new. All right, so let's move on. All right, so let's talk about what makes a deck my favorite deck. What makes a deck? Puts it onto that list there, right? All right, so number 1, the deck has to have a good chance of winning. It doesn't have to be a deck that wins all the time. It doesn't even have to be like rank competitive. It just has to be a casually competitive deck, as I like to put it. So it's like when I play the deck, it has to have a good chance of winning. It has to be at least in like the 55 to 60% range, something like that, or more. But I don't want to just be beat down all the time. The big thing about it, though, kind of dovetails into the number 2 thing, which the deck has to put up a good fight. So, like, a deck wouldn't be a favorite if it has a good chance of winning, but it's pretty much just like, can I get to the 2-card combo that will win me the game, right? It's just everything along the way is just draw cards, try to get that 2-card combo. And then hopefully that I can put them together before, and then they can't counter it, and then I win. That would be so boring. But if it puts up a good fight along the way, then I feel like I'm actually playing the game. And then if there's a good chance that, 50% of chance or more, that I'm going to win that game in any particular situation, I like it. Like it quite a bit. That makes up for a good deck for me. The third point is that the deck has to have interesting cards, or that the synergy between cards is interesting. Like some cards are just inherently interesting. Usually the Swiss Army Knife guys, maybe I'm thinking of like Sholdred is a good, interesting card. Meat Hook Massacre, I used to love that. Just because there's a lot of things that it did along the way, and it affected the game in a big way. But then like the synergy between cards, where they affect each other and ramp themselves up to make this much better situation. And I was thinking how I always talk about how I like tribal cards. And a lot of times it's because of the synergy between them. You know, like you're playing soldiers, and then you got the guy that says all soldiers get +1/+1. Or like anytime a soldier dies, you put out a soldier token or something like that. You know, that's the kind of synergy I'm looking for. So that way, all the cards are better because of each other, not necessarily because this one card is in particular the most awesome card forever. But that's what I'm looking at. One, you know, interesting cards can do it for me, but synergy between cards in Tribal is really a strong way of putting together a great deck that I'm going to love. And the last thing is I give bonus points for a big finish. It kind of takes away from what I said about how I don't want cards or decks that don't fight, that just look for that 2-card combo. But man, I do love a big finish. It's just so decisive, right? I want a card that fights along the way, that has a chance of winning, but like you can at the end, you know, you get up to turn 5, turn 6, and then it's like whatever, like a super giant Shivan Devastator. Because like if you can have a bunch of guys that make a bunch of treasure tokens, and then by turn 5 or 6, you're putting out like a 9 or 10-point Devastator that's flying over and killing people, man, that would be so good. So that's what I'm looking for. Big finish. Lots of synergy, good fights, and has a halfway decent chance of actually winning on a regular basis. That's a favorite deck. So, I mean, you got to have fun while you're playing, and that's what's important. All right, so saying all that, let's get to the list. Let's start off by looking at number 5. All right, playing against Dirting 97. Dirting. That's a lot of blue. 0 green. I'm going to mulligan this one. All right, that's 2 mana. All right, whatever. Let's get rid of that. What are you doing there, Fox? Pew, pew, pew. All right, well, Surge Engine. Surge Engine is such a great early game threat. Usually gets killed pretty quickly. All right, on his turn, we'll just go ahead and bounce his dude back, apparently. He's got another. Another shark. I need land, baby. That's Chrome Shark, Shark. Chrome Shark. There's a land. All right, 3 up. All in. You let this opportunity pass you by because you're afraid of having your naturalist chewed on by a flying shark? I would. We turn off your lights. You didn't pay the bill, did you? All right, so we're at 3. What can we do? We go looking for some stuff. Make a baby. Oh, land, really? Nah, let's just grab that guy. Yeah, he's even bigger and stronger. That's way awesome. There we go. We'll leave the sharks back. He's a good defender. What are they going to do? Bounce everything back? Destroy all creatures. Indestructible, huh? And that's also an instant. Okay, I just need 1. I can boost this guy up with 3. Down to 4. All right, here it comes. Hello, it is I, a scraggly black dude, and you are phased out. Here I come. I'm winning the game. And we win. Touchdown, Lava Bears. All right, so here we are with the Tezzeret Incubate, and it was a fantastic deck. You know, it did a good job. It was always a good winner, and it seemed to hold up really well. I enjoy one of the things, the combos I love big time in this thing is Tezzeret working with Incubates, with little pod bebes there. Just because he puts them out with, it has a base power and toughness of 4/4. Plus these things get an additional ++ for whatever it is that their pointage is to start off with. I mean, these things could pop out easily as like 7/7s, things like that. Just incredible. It gives Tezzeret the ability to create these giant things, kind of like Running 7 did. Just fantastic. But for -2, -2, right? Plus, it makes a lot of the other artifact stuff work out really great because of the way he makes things cost a lot less. Portal of Phyrexia can cost 7. My So Weak Stone, puts out that extra 2/2 for artifacts, only costs you 3 to put out. Tezzeret helps to just lubricate that. But of course, the big hero of this deck was Surge Engine. I always feel like I should put together more Surge Engine decks. I've actually taken to forget about Surge Engine. But in reality, the deal is that Surge Engine makes me believe in blue again. Because of just the fact that it just comes out, he's so powerful and can't be blocked. All you gotta do is just find ways of keeping him alive. And there's tons of that stuff out there in blue and green and white. It's tons of great ways of keeping your dudes alive. You just have to do it. Can anybody hold up against it if you're really focused on it? I don't know. I gotta maybe try that out. But anyways, this deck is very well balanced. It's got a lot of good stuff going on. And unfortunately, it's got counter spells in it. What is that? Like 5 of them? And it's like, I feel bad about it, but you play a deck, you play what you get, and sometimes you got to be the devil, right? You got to be the devil. All right, so there you go, number 5, Tezzeret Incubate. All right, playing against Draven. Lots of lands. Let's see what we can do. And a lot of pain land. Death! And more pain land for me. How fantastic. All right, we got 5 to knock through before we can pull a dragon out of our butt. Let's send a little guy in. He's playing with 2 black mana. He wants to shoot things in the head. And he's got hexproof for a second. I can just bounce him back, can't I, too? That'd be super cool. With this other dragon. Yeah, baby, I want the other dragon. These guys bouncing back does really good against black. I mean, they have those instant super death murder kills, but what can you do about that, right? Oh, I gotta lay these guys. Let's go after that one. I think I get this letter mana out. Alright, so I don't have any non-creature spells, so these mana form Hellcates aren't going to be that great. What are you doing, Draven? Well, that's just rude. Stop it! Alright, let's go kill another one of these things. Ah. No, I'm good. Alright, so we can put the Devastator for 5. Another Zergo and a Tuja. If he kills it, I can just throw another guy out. That'd be fine. All this damage is being dealt is just my own damage. One, two! Alright, that works out very well. Even with -1 dragon. Down to 2. Let's just grab another mana. Alright, that sounds fine. We bring it back with somebody? Yeah, you. They're coming back. Oh, these dragons, huh? Who are you? Pew, pew, pew! Pew, pew, pew. You gonna kill him? I think you're gonna give up. I think you're about to give up in a second. In your face! That's dragon action for you, baby. Boom, boom. Victory. All right, so here we are with the Jeskai flying deck, which was also known as Dragon Tribal. And big time, I'm a huge fan of tribal decks, and a good dragon deck is hard to turn down. It's good to see that we actually have enough dragons out there that they could put together a decent deck. Now, as you can see, we got yet another banned card in the mix. We got the Fable of the Mirror Breaker there, all kiki-jiki. Gone. The thing about that is that being able to make a copy of one of these guys, there's a lot of legendaries in here that we can't do anything with. You know, sure, it could copy some of these other dragons. It's probably the mana is the thing we probably miss the most. Being able to get that extra treasure token on the regular, you're guaranteed pretty much at least 1/1. You know, because it's when you attack, not necessarily if you do combat damage to a player. So we just have to find some other way of, getting some treasure out. And there's plenty of great opportunities for 3 or less of getting treasure out. Putting out one of those treasure dogs or something would probably be a great way of doing it. You know, just keeping it around when you're not able to use it for attacks. Because it's got menace on it, I believe. So you can attack with it quite a bit and then use it for treasure when you need to. So I think that you could probably easily replace the Fable with something else. But it was just so nice playing with dragons again. That was pretty fun. It did a good job. It was a very casual competitive deck, which is a good thing for me. What did I really like about this deck? I mean, if you think about it against the tenets of what makes a favorite deck, it's the fact that it does have a good sense of winning. There's plenty of good fights that occur along the way. We got this, I'm trying to say, is there synergy between the cards here? They don't really help out other dragons. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Zergo and Ujutai help out with the dragons a little bit. Dragons tend to be a little standoffish. They don't really help each other out all that much. But there is a little bit of dragon synergy in here, so that works out good. And this guy is a potential end-of-game bomb in that you can put 2 mana of any kind to plus him by +1/+0, which means if you got enough mana, he can be really big and flying. He just isn't hasty, which is really what Shivan Dragon's for, because he's another potential bomb. So between the two of those, you got the ability to go for a big finish at the end, which is always a great thing. All right, so Jeskai flying, number 4. All right, playing against Cape. 3 mana. This guy's kind of a little jerk. Not a big fan. I know he's 1, he puts it back up. Only gives him a +1 counter, though. No to dragons. Night-night. Nothing, huh? Let's go see what's in your hand there, Senor. Senor Snotty Pants. All right, so Thrill Seeker. This guy right here is a little too much for me, unfortunately, at the moment. All right, here we go. And if he blocks it, should I just kill it? Yeah, we'll just do that. That sounds like lots more fun. And another one. All right, so we've been using those backup vampires dance moves like crazy, and they're fantastic. Where's this guy getting this stuff from? Jesus, people. All right, make it to be even more super pumped. Well, that super pump didn't last for very long. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. Victory. All right, so this is Naya modified aggro. Ooh, man, this deck was so good. So good. I think that the reason why is because, I mean, there's a lot of creatures. There's practically no, I mean, is there any control in this whatsoever? None. I mean, I guess you could say the Hopeful Initiate, being able to use it to disenchant things, is a control thing. But other than that, nah. This thing just likes to grow. You throw it out and it's just like a one of those fireworks snake. It just goes nuts. The big card I'm always super impressed with last month was Voldarian Thrill Seeker. The reason why is because, you know, it passes out that fling ability for just a single mana. And if you have anybody that has a little bit of some beef on them, you just, you know, give them that backup ability, because it's backup 2, which puts 2+1/+1 counters on it, which makes it, you know, 2 more than whatever it was before. And then you can sacrifice it after the fact, so it can do some damage and then does a sacrifice. So this thing is that bomb I'm looking for. It just is so incredible. You get some things really juiced up. This guy just lets you throw it right out whatever you feel like, taking out creatures, going right to your opponent's face. It's fantastic. Botanical Brawler just keeps racking up those points like crazy. This guy lets you go looking for more. It's just, I mean, the Ozolith, what does it do? An additional one every time you put one on? It just gets so big, so fast. It is such a good deck. Interesting, though, it's pretty much just Selesnya, right? Just Selesnya. 1 red card, which goes to show you how good the Thrill Seeker really is, that you would sacrifice, you know, the balance of your deck but to put just that 1 card into it. So, I mean, really, that Thrill Seeker is the MVP for this particular deck. Yeah, this deck was a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of ways you can riff off of this with some minor changes. Maybe really tune into something that works well for you. So anyways, this deck ended up being number 3. I'm playing against Uzurk. 1, 2, 3, and a whole bunch of weirdness here. Get away from Q. You're not real, Qbert. All right, Qbert, here's some Energon for you. Have a good time. All right, deck, give me something good. He's just going to shoot anything I put out, but you got to do what you got to do, right? All right, so we can get a Forge out. Hopefully we can keep that thing alive. That'll be nice. All right, run on in there. Run, Forrest, run. What are you going to do, my friend, with that pod? You keep touching it. The pod, baby. All right, we're cool. Go, go, go. Go, go, Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. Here it comes. Proliferate! Really, that fusing is just a target for you to waste your time on. There you go. One, two, three. All right, let's fusing again. Pick up those sweet, sweet instructions. 1, 2. Guy looks like he wants to play creatures. I got some answers for that too. That'll be really nice. All right, you Cirque. Let's go, baby. Oh, the humanity. That's one of those new cards from Mama. March of the Machine Aftermath. Bounces back all of the non-creatures. All right, this guy's a thinker. He likes to think a little bit too much, maybe. Now, according to the comments, I don't take enough time. I tend to be a shoot-from-the-hip kind of player, and I don't recognize opportunities when they're presented to me. Love it. That's because I'm a goblin, baby. No math! That's the battle cry of my people. All right, let's save him. All right, you're going to lose your shark. Baby shark, 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 shark. Down to 3. Up to 6. You transformed it. Congratulations. He needs the defense, is what he's saying. All right, who do I want to spank? The guy. There we go. Oh! Can you feel what the forge is cooking? And we win! Touchdown, Lava Bears! And this is Fun Forge. Fun Forge! Man, yeah, this deck was really, really good. Reason why is that, you know, I kind of got myself into the idea that this particular lineup of red cards was really good together. Between the Fuseling, the Sprinter, Urbrask's Forge, all will be one. You know, those things are all very synergistic. Bolt Charge proliferates, which then makes that thing go better. This guy lets you do a little board wipe. I just like this one because it's a nice cheap board wipe, and generally that's what we're trying to take out is 3 or less. I really am disappointed when they've got big butt dudes out that are above that, and it doesn't really help out. All you can hope is that your aggro is going to get to it before they can get to those things. But regardless, we still got marches. Then we mix in the blue guys, right? This pins them down, but then we have proliferate. We got draw cards and proliferate. This one bounces things back to their hands and proliferates. The only non-proliferate we got in here is the March of Swirling Mist, which I think I might be one of the only people that believes in this card, is just a fantastic card-winning game. Because people will attack you with a bunch of stuff, and you can very cheaply just remove them from the game, which leaves them wide open. Because they think they've got you. They've got you. And you just pin them down, and they can't do anything about it. And then you just march in on their turn and kill them. Or vice versa. You got what it takes, but they got a number of blockers, so they don't have any blockers at all. Man, Swirling Mist is so good. So this is just this perfect balance of both Urbrask's Forge doing what it likes to do, with blue being able to clear the path to let them in. And the only thing is, usually when I got the word fun in there, it usually means I'm going to turn people into legitimate business people. But I needed to proliferate. That's the problem. I first started off with my normal lineup of blue, which is usually 1 mana cheaper than what you got going on here. But Urbrask Forge loves to proliferate. Or to be proliferated upon. And so, yeah, I really needed to get there. I need that particular card, and I want it to make it bigger. We got 4. Plus, the other thing I always found out was that Microsynth Gardens works so beautifully with Urbrask Forge. You just need it and 3 other mana, in which case it becomes a copy of Urbrask Forge. Because the only thing that's better than having 4 Urbrask Forge out is having 5 Urbrask Forges out. In reality, all you usually get at best is 3. But still, I mean, it's just so good. Nobody can really hold up against that. Nobody can. So yeah, this deck is a fantastically fun deck to play. I really enjoyed it. And it's hard to believe that it only made number 2. So let's go see what's going on. What made number 1? Our pin against King Kali the Great. King Kali. Keep. That guy an artifact? He is not, despite all the metal on him. He looks very artifacty. I mean, I could make a copy of that, or this, I should say. Nope. We're going to put our Urbrask's Forge. You can kill that guy. Whatever, man. Alright, well, proliferations and volt charges now mean something. 1, 2, 3. You gonna block with your Tenacious D? You should. I got a mana land. Save the Volt Charge for Kiki-Jiki. All right, he's got 5 mana. No sleeves. And an old pet. All right, anything you block with will die. And they do have trample. What else can we pull at this point? Nice. I was afraid I was going to have to wait till next turn to put it out. And that was going to be bad, okay? As soon as you get shot in the face. You guys playing pretty standard Rakdos. Like a grandpa. What does it say? Whenever a creature deals combat damage, return target creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Yikes. And another. He's just going to start chomping. We are going to make things big. This is great for us. All right, so he's going to be killed unless he sacks something. Couple of things. He's got to be doing math right now. And he's dead. He didn't do math well enough. That's why you have to graduate from the 6th grade. Boom, boom! All right, so here is Oily Growth, our #1 pick for the month. Now, the big question is why Oily Growth over Funforge? Funforge has the name Fun in it, and Fun is usually what a favorite deck is for me. But no, it was my favorite this time just became because of the synergy. This one just goes nuts on Proliferate and putting out oil counters and making them bigger. And then we've got, we got double Proliferate with Tequathal. We've got this one, which doubles the amount of damage being dealt by non-combat sources, which would be all will be 1. Burn Down the House, or Brother's Hood End, or Bolt Charge. I mean, just the synergy of this deck is just incredible. All the cards just kind of like grow and breathe upon each other. And that's why it's my favorite deck, is because it just seems like it just loves to be around itself all the time. Now look who else is in here right now. It's Voltron Thrill Seeker. She was just incredible in this deck. The only thing I don't like is that that dude's face is totally being kicked up. Yet she's on the I'm about to kick somebody in the face mode pose there. So I'm not quite sure if she's using like a force kick or something right there. Watch the internet for force kick to see what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah. This was my favorite version of the Urabrask's Forge deck. I think it worked out great. There's a Rakdos one that would be on my honorable mention list, the black one as well, because just taking out creatures is really good too. But this was my favorite. I like the fact that we're drawing cards and proliferating. This guy helped to also cause proliferations to occur. It just seemed like people, if they couldn't eliminate your stuff like as quickly and as hard as possible, you were just going to go to Crazy Town way too soon. This is an extreme aggro deck. These guys are a little expensive for. All of the stuff is a little expensive for it. But, if you got past that early part, this was really just going to finish the game off. Anyway, so I thought this was a highly competitive deck. It had an intense amount of synergy. And yes, you were fighting constantly. I say, is there a big finish? I mean, it could be. I mean, Burn Down the House can throw out three devils, and they'd come in for the attack. It's just what it was is all be one eventually get out. The amount of tokens being passed around was insane. This was just wiping things off the board or shooting people in the face like a billion times. It was just really, really good. So this was like the hammer coming down, and I totally enjoyed playing this deck. It became my favorite deck, the crown jewel of Urabrask Forge, in my opinion, for May 2023. So there you go, the big winner of last month. All right, so there was my top 5 favorite decks of May 2023. But I got to say that June is going to be an entirely different month, mostly because we had the bannings and because we had the release of Aftermath, which is, going to change the meta, a certain bit. We're going to have some new cards in there. The other thing, we got Lord of the Rings coming up here pretty soon. Man, that's what I love about Standard, is that the format never stays the same for too long. And decks have to move, and you got to keep playing something different. So I hope that you enjoyed my top 5 favorite decks, and that we'll see what happens next month. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.